If you have a griddle, I'd recommend making Crunchwraps because the large surface makes it easy and it's just plain fun. Mist my griddle with a little bit of oil on a 90-degree day like today. I like to pretend that it's just griddle sunscreen I'm putting on there. Lay down a pound of ground beef right onto the Blackstone, and I like to press it out to get a decent sear and make good contact with the griddle. This isn't necessary, it's just what I do. We'll go ahead and check the temp. I usually do my general cooking around 375 to 400. Love the 2-in-1 thermometer from ThermoPro because it has an infrared and a probe. After about 5 minutes, I'm going to flip the beef and start to break it up. I got a new spatula and my scraper to break it up. I'm just testing the spatula out. I'll give you a full review in a couple videos. Once it's all broken up, I will move the beef over, then try to scrape off some of that grease. I bought some Taco Bell seasoning for this because, you know, when in Rome. My Kroger has all sorts of Taco Bell stuff. They even have a Crunchwrap kit, but I didn't buy it. It seemed like more money than just getting all the ingredients individually. Also, I only used about half the packet of this Taco Bell seasoning because I'm sure it's just full of salt and I didn't really need all that. But again, that's just a preference thing. Feel free to use the whole packet if you want. I mixed all the seasoning in, then added a little bit of water. The packet calls for 3/4 a cup, but I didn't measure and I didn't use the whole packet, so I just gave it a couple squirts, mixed it, a couple more squirts of water until it got a little salty. Then I moved all the beef over to the corner and turned that burner off to stop cooking but still keep the beef warm. And we'll give the old griddle a nice scrape. I want to get rid of any of the drippings or beef grease so I can go ahead and get ready to kind of put some color and assemble these Crunchwraps. And this is the fun part, okay? This is where we're building them. But first what I did is I turned off the other outside burner. Now both outside burners are off because I'm going to put my board there. Now you don't need an obnoxious cutting board with your website's name on it in order to build these. That's just me. But I would recommend warming the tortillas for about 20 seconds per side to make them more pliable, then building the Crunchwrap off the griddle, somewhere off the griddle. I built my breakfast Crunchwraps straight on the griddle, and oh boy do I look dumb doing it. I mean, as you would imagine, I burnt my fingers a lot. But also, if you ever need a griddle recipe, just search like Johnny Brunette Smash Burgers and it will take you right to my website, which is only griddle recipes. Okay, that's my last plug, I promise. I'm sorry. So the first ingredient is the all-natural farm-raised nacho cheese. You could buy a jar, but I found this one a squeeze bottle. I was like, squeeze bottle of processed cheese, sign me up. Then some beef. I didn't measure, but a pound of beef can get you about 4 to 6 Crunchwraps depending on how you stuff them, but if you put too much beef in, it might be hard to wrap. A tostada. I get these right next to my tortillas at Kroger. Sour cream, also in a squeeze bottle. Both of the squeeze bottles really made this easier. I would highly recommend it. Shredded lettuce, diced tomato, and I cut one of the burrito shells into fourths to put on top and seal it as I like folded up the burrito. These are the extra large flour tortillas or burrito. Some sizes say extra large, some say burrito on the bag, just depends on which brand you buy. Place a little bit of oil on the griddle and put it seam side down. One more time, really quick to review. Warm the tortilla, remove it from the griddle. Nacho cheese, meat, tostada, which separates the cold stuff from the hot meat. So then sour cream, lettuce, tomato, a 1/4 of a burrito tortilla cut. You fold it all up back on the griddle at like 375 to kind of get some color on it. Now you only need to keep the Crunchwraps on there for like 3 or 4 minutes per side or until they're golden brown. Since I had my outside burners off, I was kind of moving mine around so they didn't cook too fast while I finished assembling all the others. You can see we got a nice toasted color on it, just like Taco Bell does. People said, go to college, Johnny, so you don't end up working in fast food your whole life. Well, instead, I went to college, made a YouTube channel, where now I just make fast food. Really showed them, didn't I? Anywho, I got my favorite knife out, and let's go ahead and cut into one of these bad boys. And oh my, cheesy, beefy, crunchy. Like I said at the beginning, these are just a lot of fun. I'd highly recommend them. And if you want to see the breakfast Crunchwraps, well, that video is on your screen now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. Have a good one and keep on griddling.